In today's Twin Talk, I want you to focus on how I managed my pregnancy symptoms because, guys, they were absolutely wild. And I have so many questions from you guys about what indications I experienced of twin pregnancy, how I managed my twin pregnancy symptoms. And so with all of those things in mind, I wanted to give you guys some tips on how I managed the pregnancy, and hopefully this will also help out any of you who are pregnant with singletons as well. Some of the symptoms I experienced were nausea, morning sickness, wild, super bad morning sickness, guys. It was terrible. Really bad morning sickness, fatigue, food aversions. I put on weight pretty quickly because I was like carb loading. I was eating really bland food. I had food aversions. I had heightened sensitivity. So my smell was really intense. If we start with food aversions and some of the sensitivities, the main way that I found that worked for me was to drink peppermint tea. I generally do drink peppermint tea. I usually drink it without anything in it. So just like a peppermint tea bag and water. And sometimes if I want a bit of sweetness, I will add a bit of honey, but generally I just have it with water. And for the most of my pregnancy, especially the first trimester and the first few weeks of my pregnancy, I just felt like I was gonna throw up all of the time. All day, every day, I felt like I needed to vomit. Sometimes I felt as though I had something in my throat. It was really strange. And so I was eating a lot to kind of push down the feeling. And then I was doing research on how to manage nausea because it was really overwhelming, even at night. During the day, I felt as though I could distract myself, but when I was trying to sleep, that constant feeling of just needing to vomit was really overwhelming for me. So I did research and I think I saw that you could use ginger or peppermint. And at that time, I hadn't been drinking any teas. I remember the day I decided that I was just going to try and down some peppermint tea. I actually have loose leaf peppermint tea as well. So I made it fresh and I drank it. And guys, it was life-changing. It was life-changing. It really managed to reduce the feeling of nausea for at least a few hours. And so actually quite early in my pregnancy, there were days when I was having like back-to-back cups of peppermint tea, like 3-4 cups of peppermint tea a day. And the good thing about peppermint tea is that it's good for you, right? So you don't have to really worry about drinking too much of it or anything like that. I know that there are some people that say to drink fizzy drinks like 7-Up or ginger beer because of the gingery flavour. But all of those things didn't really work for me. And I actually found that drinking carbonated drinks just made my life even worse because then I had bubble guts. Like I needed to fart, but I needed to burp, but I needed to vomit. Like it was just really bad. I don't really drink fizzy drinks that much because of that reason, because I just find that it just stays in my stomach and I just get really gassy and it's just not a fun time for me or anyone else around me. And so the thing that worked for me was peppermint and mints. So I just went to Primark, or you can go to like the pound store and just buy the hard mints. I found those were most effective. The hard boiled sweets. So I could kind of just lodge it into the back of my mouth and have it there. And it would kind of wash away any kind of feelings that I was having in my throat. So I would recommend those two things if you are struggling with nausea, maybe you're pregnant with twins and you are on the struggle bus like I was. Do try out peppermint tea and the boiled mint sweets. I found that with the, you know, you can get the mint sweets with the soft inside. I just found that I was just eating them. I was such a greedy git. I was just putting them in my mouth and within like 2 minutes it was gone because I would chew and swallow it. And so the effectiveness of it wasn't as long lasting. I would usually recommend that you not listen to strangers on the internet telling you what to do. But guys, we're friends, right? Right? And so I'm here to tell you that if anybody tells you that twin pregnancy is easy, they might be lying to you, okay? I know that everybody carries different and everybody's experience of pregnancy is different. But this was like the hardest thing I had to do in my life. And I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this so that you can prepare yourself, right? The next symptom that I experienced throughout the whole of my pregnancy was fatigue. I just wanted to lie down, okay? I just wanted to lie down every day, all day. I just wanted to be on my back, okay? And that feeling didn't really go away. There was times, of course, I was working, so I had to push through. But any given day, my response was, I'm just tired. And actually recovering from twin pregnancy, as I have now with toddlers, twin toddlers, I would say that it has taken my body at least a year and a half at least to recover from that fatigued feeling. I actually still feel it now sometimes. And I know that part of that is probably you have to get the babies out of the baby stage. I breastfed for like 9 months, so exclusively, both of them. So like my sleep was interrupted for most of the year of their first year of being born. I was still not getting consistent sleep. And then just the hormonal changes to your body, which I will get into, and also your body changing. I put on quite a bit of weight, which I will also get into. So there's all of that kind of stuff. But basically, I had fatigue. And one day I decided, I think I might have been about 32 weeks pregnant. I think sometime around there, I was struggling with the weight of the babies on my groin, and my sleep was still rubbish. Like from the time I got pregnant, sleep was ruined, in the trash. It was awful, right? So I thought to myself, I need to find a way to get some sleep. So I was doing a bit of research, and I found that people were talking about body pillows really helping. And I had actually had a body pillow in my first pregnancy. So I do have an older son, and I'm actually looking at it right now. I ordered a body pillow and it didn't really work. I just felt like irritated. I don't know if you guys have ever been pregnant, or you are pregnant, then I think you guys will be able to understand. I was just irritated with this pillow, and then my husband was in the bed too, and I just felt hot, and I just felt bothered. I felt nauseous. And I just decided that I wasn't going to bother with the body pillow, so I ended up not using it. So when I got pregnant with the twin, I didn't really think about getting another one because I had already tried one that didn't work. But I decided to buy a very particular one, which I will show you guys here, which is a full body one. So they have the half body ones, which was one that I bought the first time round, which kind of had one long end and one short end. But guys, when I ordered this full body, super long pillow, changed my life. I actually still use it now. It's really bad. I would show it to you guys, but it looks like I've been using it for 3 years, and I actually really have. I am so in love with this body pillow that even now I'm struggling to get it out of the bed. It is quite large, so it does take up quite a lot of space, but I would say that if you are struggling with sleep or getting comfortable in your sleep, having this body pillow a bit earlier in my pregnancy probably would have helped me quite a lot. So guys, get one. Okay. I also had a time where I was experiencing hip pain. That symptom came a bit later on, but it also helps with that because you're able to put one side of the pillow between your knees to help better align your hips. And then the long pillow that kind of lies behind you, you're kind of able to lean on it a bit. So you can be laying down, but also kind of positioned comfortably and kind of a bit raised. Guys, I can't rave enough about it. I absolutely love it. The next thing that I experienced throughout the whole of my pregnancy was change in my mood. Like I was super moody. I wouldn't say I'm the most upbeat person anyway. Like my disposition definitely leans to be a bit more introverted, a bit more inward. So I think that was just exacerbated when I was pregnant. So I just had loads of thoughts. I was constantly thinking about them, constantly thinking about my oldest son, thinking about the house, like keeping the house clean, but feeling sick, but needing to work, but needing to cook. I wanted to film for you guys. All of these things that were, of course, pressures that I was putting on myself, which sometimes are the worst kind of pressures because everybody else was just telling me to sit down. But I had all of these things that I wanted to do and that I felt like I should be doing. And so I really found that journaling really helps me. Actually, let me go and get it. I have my journal here that I picked up. I just picked up a lined book, guys. Don't feel pressure, which I did. Again, self-inflicted. When I decided I needed a journal and I was looking, I was kind of like, well, do I want one with dates? Do I want one with lines? Do I want one with place for pictures? Do I want what, like how much money I'm supposed to spend on one? All of these kind of things. And I just decided one day when I was walking around Tesco's when we were doing some shopping that I would just pick up a lined book. So just pick up a lined book. It doesn't need to be expensive. It doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to have, you know, baby journal written on the front or the best, you know, the best pregnancy ever written on your, it doesn't need all of that stuff unless you want that, but it doesn't need it. I just picked up a plain lined book and you can see I've got some of my scans and stuff on the inside. Basically, I just tried to get my feelings out, guys. And so I would spend time when I was in the bed, maybe before bed, just writing down how I was feeling. I've actually been thinking about sharing a few lines of some of these with you guys because I think it might help because, I don't know, when I was pregnant with twins and I was doing research, even growing into womanhood and getting pregnant, I don't think anybody can prepare you enough for what it's like. Like, adulting is really hard, and being a woman is actually really hard too. Being a pregnant woman is a struggle. Being a woman who's pregnant with twins, okay, right? Where I was on the emotional struggle bus like all of the time. So I managed to get, I would say, probably like halfway through this journal. I did start late, which I wouldn't recommend, guys. As soon as you get pregnant, if you've got something to say to someone, write it down, okay? I probably should have done it earlier. And so out of that experience, I decided to create a free download for you guys. I actually think I'm going to do an ebook. The next time we do a twin talk, I'll show you all of the twin related things that I bought, none of which helped me, okay? I bought a twin pregnancy journal, didn't help. I was trying to find like maybe like a twin podcast. I couldn't find one that spoke to me. There are a couple, but I couldn't find any that spoke to me. So I think I am going to do some kind of book or something to help you guys to know what to expect from twin pregnancy, how to cope with twin pregnancy, how to cope with twins, what to expect from having twins, all of those kind of things, because I don't think there's enough time. You know, we'd be sitting here for hours if I had to run down every single thing that I've learned from having twins. But if you guys were interested in a free download, then I do have one on my website of twin pregnancy affirmations and also a twin pregnancy checklist. You guys can use it even if you're pregnant with a singleton. I just found also doing affirmations really helpful. I didn't ever find any particular twin pregnancy related affirmations, which is what this download is more focused towards, but I did end up finding a few more general pregnancy affirmations that I went through in the mornings. And also I found that listening to sounds when I was sleeping, so I would find sea sounds or water sounds, beach sounds that I would play at night to try and help distract my mind away from all the smells I was smelling and all the nausea I was feeling. So I would also recommend that. Like most things in life, most of what's going to get you through the most unscathed is getting your mind right? And I don't think we tell women enough, like, if you can get your mind right, you can get through most things with a little less struggle, right? So if you are interested in that free download, then do check out my website and do make sure that you subscribe for when I do come out with my ebook, which I think I'm going to do, guys, because I just have so much to say about twin pregnancy. It actually changed my life. Also, I wanted to clarify a little bit for you guys about how to get pregnant with twins, because I also get this question a lot, like, how did you get pregnant with twins? I want to have twins. How did you get pregnant with twins? And oftentimes when I'm out with my twins, women are always like, oh, I wish I could have twins. I wish I had twins. And so I wanted to just clarify, guys, that there is actually no way to guarantee twins. Like, there is no way. There are things that you can do to increase your chances of having twins, which I outlined in a video for you guys that I'll put up here in the cards. There are ways that you can increase your chances, but there's no way that I know of that you can absolutely guarantee that you will have twins. And it is also very much dependent on the type of twins. So identical twins are spontaneous. So, you know, you see twins that look exactly alike. They have exactly the same face, the same mannerisms, all of that kind of stuff. Those kind of twins are spontaneous. So they haven't actually been able to find what is responsible for those type of twins. So with those type of identical twins, we're kind of all on the same playing field. It's kind of just by potluck, right? So if you are interested in having identical twins, then you're going to kind of have to go more based on luck. If you are interested in having fraternal twins, so those are twins that don't necessarily look alike, they are siblings. So let's say you got pregnant with a baby this year and then you got pregnant with a baby next year. You know, they're siblings, but they might look a bit different. So for example, I have fraternal boys. They look alike, they look like they're related, but then they don't look identical. And also fraternal twins can be boys and girls. So if you are after a set of twins who are not the same gender, so you want a boy-girl twin, right? They are fraternal twins, and those twins are based on genetics, and it is on the genetics of the women, okay? I have so many men who have had twins who are like, yeah, I have twins, yeah, my genetics, like I've got, I don't know, a mum who's a twin and all of that kind of stuff. Even my husband does it, even though he knows the truth, which is that he had nothing to do with it. Even though he knows the truth, he talks a lot about, you know, if there's twins in his family and all of that kind of stuff. It is really based on the woman. Okay, so fraternal twins are based on a woman releasing 2 eggs in one cycle. So in one cycle, you release 2 eggs, and then I guess the men do come into it a bit, right? Because they have to fertilize the eggs. So you do need the presence of sperm to fertilize the eggs, right? And then they do their magic. But it's based on the woman's ability to release two eggs at one time, which is why you oftentimes see women who have had twins have more twins, right? Because if you are able to release 2 eggs at once, then inference is that you can do it more than once. So oftentimes the mothers of fraternal twins will have another set of fraternal twins because they've had another cycle where they've released 2 eggs and they've been fertilized. So I just wanted to clarify that for any of you guys who are kind of thinking about how they can increase their chances. There are, of course, things like your race, your age, your weight, your heritage. All of these things can also affect your chances of having twins, but there's nothing that can guarantee that you have twins. So I think I'm going to shut up now, guys, because I've been rambling on a lot. If you've got any questions about having twins, twin pregnancy, all of those kind of things, do let me know down in the comments.